Imagine being a brand leader and you're so tired of paying $100 or more for all of the tools that you need. Tools for your website hosting, your blog posts, your course building, your community, funnels, and so much more. Or maybe you are a brand leader who you don't have those things, but you know you need to get started, but you don't know where to begin because you don't want to pay for five or more different subscriptions. Well, what if I told you that there is a platform that allows you to have all of this and more for free? If it sounds too good to be true, stick with me. This is my course on System.io. This isn't something that I just have heard about recently. I've tried them for years, I've used them for years, and I highly recommend them. In this episode of my System.io course, we're going to be looking into their funnels, how you can make them, how they're beneficial, and to show you that you really can do it and get started for free. Free now, free forever. Let's get started. Okay, so we're in one of my new sub accounts and we're going to take a look again at funnels. So as you can see here, we're in the funnels page and I already have one funnel here. We'll take a quick look at it so that you can get a feel and then we'll walk through how you can build out your own funnel. So this is the back room of the funnel, if you will, and this is the direct link. You can build as many pages as you want. As you can see right here, if you look kind of beside me, you'll see add step where you can just click it, add step. But again, we're going to go through how to do all of this in a moment. Let's just take a quick look. So this is a funnel that I did for an ebook. It's an ebook, it's a devotional. I'll link it in the comment section in case you want to take a look and get it yourself. But I built all of this and I was able to build it fairly quickly right in System.io, and it can be done, of course, with a free account. They do have different versions as far as the payment plans, if you want to subscribe for a paid version. But I will say everything that I'm going to show you in this series is 100% available in the free version. Like I mentioned before, you can have up to 3 funnels in the free version. So here we're getting down to the bottom, and I was even able to add here where the regular price is 19, but you can get it for 0, and some FAQs that will pop out. And you can do this according to your brand colors, customize it as you like, put your own pics in, and everything of that nature. So we're just going to say download for free. Now, I'm going to just put in my email address and my name really quickly, and we'll say get ignited. So this is the third page of the funnel. The third page of the funnel. So when they get here, they'll see, thank you for signing up, blah, 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 some other things that they need to know, and download your workbook, and bam, there's the workbook. Now, you see how I was able to do that thanks to this funnel in my sleep, all throughout the day, all throughout the night. I never have to do a thing. It is very much so a do once and never have to do again type of situation, thanks to System.io. The thing is, you can do this and you can promote it on Facebook, you can promote it on any of your social media platforms or your website and events with the QR code, and you could just build it however you would like. Now, as you saw, mine was very simple, 3 pages in total, and I didn't have any upsells or anything because that wasn't the purpose of this particular funnel, but I'll show you how you are able to do all of that. So we're going to go back to the funnels page, which is under sites and then sales funnels, and then you're going to click create. Now here you have 4 different options. Now the thing is, you don't really have this option unless you pay for the webinar package. You will have to have a webinar subscription to System.io in order to use this. So although you see 4 rather, you only have access to 3. Do you want to do a custom funnel? Do you want to sell a product or a service? Or do you want to build an audience? We'll just say build an audience. So I'll name it test, build an audience, and you can connect your custom domain here if you have one, like I have down here, but we'll just keep it at the domain that System.io gives us. And we're going to go to save. And we see here test and the status is active. If you don't want it to be active or you want to deactivate one that you're no longer using, as you saw, three dots, activate to activate it, deactivate to deactivate it. Very simple, right? So if we go to settings, that's where you can change the name, you can change the domain, and you can also change the currency in case you're selling something and it's not in American dollar, US dollars. So let's click on test to get started. And here they give us opt-in page options. So they give us many templates. Now, I am a big fan of using templates. A lot of people like to build things from scratch, but if you're not extremely creative and very familiar with the platform that you're using, it's better to just use a template and drastically, if you want to, redesign it, reorganize it, make it look different so it doesn't look like a template. Because of course, you don't want something that everyone else has, but you also don't want something that no one else would desire. So you want to kind of start with a template and go from there. Now, we don't have much as far as, we're not going to go deep as far as changing the pictures and all of that. So we'll just get a very simple one. Let's see. This looks very simple, very plain. And if you just wanted to get a closer look at it before choosing, you could click preview, you could go through it, and you can see what do you like, what do you not like, do you have a vision for how things can change according to your brand, according to whatever product you're selling, whatever you're promoting. So I like that one, so I'll just say select. Now, select, we'll just call it the opt-in page because even as you saw on mine, I started with what was just called the opt-in page because that's what we need first. We want to quickly gather our visitors' email addresses and their names, if possible, their phone numbers as well. Data is valuable. So, in everything that you do, you want to make sure that you can get their names, their phone numbers, and their email addresses. The thing is, when we are marketing and advertising on social media, we're not able to get that data because Facebook owns Facebook data. TikTok owns TikTok data. Even if they fill out something on your end, they subscribe to you or anything like that, there's a great chance that you'll never get that information, that personal information where you are able to advertise to them, to market to them, to reach them outside of that platform. Why? Because when social media is created, they created the platform so that they can have their data, so that they can have the information, not so that we can have it. This is why we have to build our own so that we can have our access to their information because we need to be able to reach them in case Facebook shuts down, in case YouTube shuts down, in case we get banned on Twitter. We want to make sure that we have as many people's info as possible. So we'll just call this testing dash opt in. And then we're going to edit. Now, before I go to edit page, as you can see, you can always change your template. Nothing that you do in System IO is one of those things where it's just like you're stuck for life. You can just change it here, but we're just going to go to edit page. And I'm just going to do some light edits just so that you can get the mindset of how to get it done. So in everything here, you don't need to know any kind of coding, guys. I don't know a thing about how to code. I don't know the first thing about how to code, but I can definitely handle system.io. As we can see, everything looks exactly how it looked when we previewed, but everything is editable. So let's click on the logo up here, and all we have to do is click here to upload a logo. So we're just going to X that one out. And I'm just going to say my images, and I'm going to use one from before, just a little flang. And we can even determine what happens when they click on that logo, right? Just like if you go to someone else's website, when you click on their hero logo, it normally takes you back to the home page. So you can set it to where it takes them to your home page, it takes them back to this home page, or you can have it to go anywhere that you would like. You can also have it to where a pop-up will appear, and then you will build a pop-up. And we have a sample pop-up there, but we're just going to do that for now. You can determine how big you want it to be, how small you want it to be. and whether you want it in the center or what have you. Now, the thing is, we could go right a line and it will be centered there. Now, we can determine the margins, all of this in system.io. It's very simple. This is one of the most simple tutorials that you'll see because it's literally click, it pops up over here what you need to edit, and you just edit it. So even if you see about, now typically with the funnel, I don't know about you, I typically don't have a navigation bar on my funnels. If you don't want one, you can easily click over here and just hover. And you'll hover, you'll see that it says menu, so you know you're hovering over the menu, aka the navigation bar, and you can click the trash can. And it's going to ask you, do you want to delete? And you'll say yes. Now, if you do want a navigation bar, all I did was undid over here. You can click on it. You see it's orange. Click on it there. And then you'll just change whatever you want it to be. So if you wanted to say home, that's fine. If you wanted to say about, next. And then let's say you want some sub menus. So you can say about CEO. You can add another sub menu about business. So when they hover, let's do a quick preview. So when they hover about CEO, about business, because you have your subheadings, you don't have any under home. And you can add more if you like. You can even add more menu items. So you could just say contact, and you can say FAQs. Whoa, if I know how to text. FAQs, right? And your FAQs can open up in a new window. Now you just have to link it to something. So let's say that you already have a website and you want it to go there, or maybe you want to even, you can even put your social media here. So let's say Facebook. Let's say follow on Facebook. And we'll just say www.facebook.com. Okay. And we're going to have it to open in a new window. So when we preview, it's going to let us know this is a preview mode. Don't use this URL. Now, let's go back. So that's your navigation bar. Now we're going to go down to your headline. You're just clicking and enter. Click and enter. Or click and type, right? Double click and type. Now, as you can see, this, in order to get this perfectly aligned so that it's not all the way, the text isn't all the way over, what they did was they came over here to the side, took to column layout, and they chose 3 columns. So let's just put that, let's put it down here. And when they chose 3 columns, they were able to put the text here. So you're building, right? So when you put 3 columns, you can't just click because nothing's in the columns. So that's when you go back over here under elements and you click text, and then you put it, you see how the line dropped in there? You move it around, bam, you put it there. Now, as you can see, this is wider. The middle part is wider, so the text can be wider. You just go here. That's too much. Okay, there we are. And there we are there. Maybe a little bit more over. That might be okay. Okay, that's a little closer to what it's above. Once you get the text there, you'll double click and it'll allow you to change the fonts, font size, font height, and the fonts in and of themselves. You can also add custom fonts by uploading them here, but we won't get into all of that here. But it's very simple. You just upload the font that is saved to your computer. Now you can go to Google Fonts and you'll have all of these different fonts you can use. It's a Brazilian of them. Web safe fonts, which are the best ones to use, I believe. And you have those there. Or you could just do same as a page, which is Oswald. You can edit your letter spacing, how far space you want them to be. And like I say, every single thing, every aspect you can edit. The text, background text of just the wording. When you want to get rid of it, the easiest way that I found to get rid of it when you change your mind is to just transparency 0, right? And then all of this as far as alignment, your margins, things of that nature, your padding, um, if you want it to be more spacious right there. So all of that is there. Now, here's the thing also. You can also do where it's just visible on mobile or visible on the desktop. So you see how I unclick desktop and it's no longer visible on the desktop. But when you go to mobile, so they're looking at it on their phones, it's still visible. And it's hard for you to see it, I'm sure, but right there it says mobile only to let you know this only shows up on phones, on cell phones, and on tablets. It does not show up on the desktop, right? So let's go ahead and in order to one of the things that's very important. So let's put some more text in here just to show you this. So when you have text or even an image, when you have a specific element, it's orange. You see how the image is orange, the text is orange. When you have a space like a row or a column, it's blue. And then when you have a section, it's green. So if I were to delete this section, I'm going to delete everything in the section, which is everything in the green box. If I wanted to delete just the row or the three columns, there it is in blue. I'll delete it there. Or if I just want to delete the text, it's orange, just like it was up here. Remember I said make sure it's green, it's orange, and you can see menu and you're able to delete there. Same here. Orange, delete, yes. I want to delete everything, including the column that remains. Green, delete that entire section. Yes. Now when we scroll down, we can change all of this. You change this the same way that we did the logo up top. Now you can use a variation of image file types, including SVG. You can also use PNG. You can also use JPEG. And I haven't tried it, but I do know that you are able to put in GIFs. I haven't done it just because I'm not a big user of them. As far as my brand, it doesn't really fit into my brand for those to be on my site. But that is a version of images that you're able to upload to your website. And again, all of this is editable. So let's just click on buttons and you can take a look at what is what there. Open URL, you can just change that to next step URL. What that means is when they click this, they'll go to the next step. Now, I don't advise that you do that. Why? Because where have they given their information? They haven't given their information anywhere, so we don't want them to go to the next step if we haven't gotten their data, their information on this step. But it is a possibility there. As far as the colors, you'll scroll down where you can add um, your icons. You see how the arrow is there, the arrow is there. But then the background colors. So you have that here where you can change all of those. Let's put the transparency up so we can actually see those changes. And there we are there. Now, we're not trying to make this look a certain way only because I'm only doing this to show you how it is done. And then hover, because you see when you hover over it, let's click off the hover. You see it turns brown. So let's click button again. Let's scroll down and we'll go over to hover effect. Background color, we're going to change it to red because you know you didn't see any red. So we know you'll spot that difference there. So let's click and then it changes now to red. Again, everything is click, scroll, and change. And that is the movement. That is why when we hover, it moves because we set it to move under hover effect. Move on hover, right? Okay, so now we're going to keep going. And I don't see anything here that talks about what I mentioned earlier. And what did I mention earlier? You want to get the information. Now, this is our section. We're going to go ahead and make sure we get that in here. So we're going to go over here. And under form, we're going to go to form input. We're going to drag it over. And then we're going to go ahead and click on it, click on field, and input type. We want them to be able to type in their first name, right? So it's going to say first name. If you don't want it to say first name, you could just say name or what have you. So we're going to scroll down, and let's say we want to make it more round, right? So I'll just say 25. I just play around with the numbers. And that's pretty round. I like how that looks. So now we're going to keep going. We're going to scroll down and we're going to take a look at the border. I'm not a huge fan of very obvious borders. So we could just take off the border by taking the width to 0. And also we can make sure that we can change the color if we want. How do we change the color? We're starting here at color. And right now it has no color, which, it's one thing, but then under that is the background color. That's what's important. The background color is white. So let's just say we'll just have it at a slightly off-white. F2, F2, F2. Now, as we can see, the wording isn't quite as noticeable. So we're going to have placeholder wording and we're going to make it red. Okay. Still not as easy on the eyes. Whoops. Let's just go all the way black. Okay, now we've gotten that done. We're mildly satisfied. Let's go ahead and say we're going to go back to, because we want to go to the text. We want to go to the field itself. So we're going to make sure we're in the orange. We see field is highlighting only that box. And we're going to go here for duplicate. Bam, there it is. We're going to click on it and we're going to change the input type to email. It automatically changed the placeholder text to email. Now, I don't really like how much space that is. So we're going to go here and the margin, the top margin is at 25. Let's take it down to 15. Let's see how that looks. That looks a little better. Let's now take it down to 10. I want it just a little bit tighter. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we need them to be able to click a button to enter their information. Because here they just key it in. There's nothing for them to put in. So we're going to go over here to button. And we're going to just place that right under email. Now that looks horrible. So we're going to click on it. And then first things first, what is important here? We don't want any subtext. So we're going to take that off. We're going to say, let's just say, get yours. Okay. Let's make it a little smaller. As you can see, that's how to change the font if you want, but we'll just keep it the same. We don't want any icons. It's not necessary here, but we do want to change the color. Let's just go back to our red. Text color, I think is fine. So let's keep scrolling down. There we are. We need to change the corner radius. We want it to be more round. If I'm not mistaken, I think we use 15 for the other. That's not good enough, so let's go 25. Maybe it was 25. And then according to the width of it, it can make a difference. So 15 on one button can look different than a 15 on another. So sometimes you just have to play around with it to get it right. I really like the way that that looks, but you know me, that's a lot of space in between the two. So we're going to scroll and we're going to go here. And I believe I remember us setting this to 10. A little better, but I think I want a little bit more space since it's the submission button. Okay, 15 is perfect. So now you have yourself ready to go, with the exception of one thing. Where do you want it to take? Remember, we talked about it earlier, but it's already here. When they click their email, their name, and they click get yours, it's going to take them to the next step. We're not going to worry about automation right now, out because we want to get finished with the whole thing first. So it's going to take you to the next step, right? So I just for fun want to put here, let's get it up there. We're gonna say learn, we're gonna do all caps, learn about our programs. Okay, and then we're going to do a text. We're going to drag it over right under that. That's the only thing. It gets a little tricky when it comes to adding. Okay, we're going to drop it down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, learn about our programs. Sign up to receive a free digital, we're going to say pamphlet describing our dynamic programs. Now, you know I don't like all that space, so we're going to make sure that we go here. I don't mind the space up top, but let's work on the margin right under learn about our program. So we're going to click here, and we're going to take out that. So we're going to set that to 0, and then we're going to click on this text. We're going to go down to, well, it's already set to 0, so that means it's the row, right? You see how we have the orange and then the blue. So we're going to click on this, which is the blue, and we're going to set this to 0 up top. And we're going to do the same here. It's the orange. We're going to go until we find the blue. So we see the row. Let's go to padding, and let's do just 5. Well, I didn't see hardly difference. Let's just do 0. Tighten that up. Now we have, this is so spacious, so we're going to click on the whole section, which is the green. We're going to go here, and the down arrow is what I'm looking for. We're going to say 0, and we're going to do the same with this section. The up arrow, we're going to say 0 to bring everything a little closer together, right? We're going to make this 0 as well. Now we have what's important to get them over to the next page. Now, we're going to quickly go over the next page. We're going to say save. You're going to exit page, and they've already given us a thank you page. Now, if you want to go ahead and get them to sign up and say thank you, here it is, that's your second page. If you want to do an upsell or anything, let's just say test upsell, right? We're going to go to type, and we have these options. A lot of them. For sales, we have a sales page. If you want to present a new product to them, is the first product that they'll see, or maybe you even told them in the advertisement on Facebook, hey, I have this product, $20. Click this link to get it. That's your sales page. Once they finish the sales page, you will have to take them over to the next page, which is the order form. Let's take a look at some of the sales page templates. So as you can see, the sales page is going to mostly just welcome you to the product, especially this one. This is a really good example. So this sales page, I'm a Pro, was $9.97. Now it's on sale for $6.97. And then they can enter in all of the information here. So as you can see, this is the sales page and the product page all in one. So let's say also, let's just change it. We're going to go here, and we're going to take a look at, that was sales page. So now we're going to take a look at the order forms. So let me change that. I need to change the name of that other one too. Again, we're choosing templates. So the order form, this is how the order form looks. Looks very professional. Now, this is perfect for those that are, the sales page only gives them the information about the product, and they're deciding, okay, I want to buy that product. And then you can have a separate order form. Like I said before, that other one that we were looking at, this one is pretty much all in one. It gives you that information, and it lets you go ahead and do the sale right there, because you can click this. If this weren't a demo, they'll let you click it so that you can go ahead and order, put your card information in there. But other sales pages, you know how it is. You look at the product, you see what the features are, you see what it's about, you see some demos, some samples, and then it takes you to the sales page to actually enter in your name and your card info and select your method of payment. They do allow you to connect PayPal. They do allow you to connect your Stripe so that you can take credit card payments, debit card payments, things of that nature. So that is your order forms. Let's take a look at some of those. We're not going to go through all of these because there's so many, but upsells is one where after they put in their card information, you could tell them, but wait, there's more. Here is something. If you like this free product or if you like this $10 product, why don't you get this expensive product? So let's say upsell. So as you can see, this is one of my favorite ones. We'll take a bigger look at it. It's one of my favorite ones because it does allow you to enter in a countdown timer. And that countdown timer, you know, when you go somewhere and you're on the site, it's like this deal only lasts for the next 5 minutes, and it causes your client or your potential customer to have it in their mind. Oh my goodness, this is such a scarce deal. This is such a deal that I cannot afford to miss. Let me go ahead and get it. And you upsell them. You make them add something else to their cart. And yes, you can make a cart right in system.io. So you can get that, tell them, yes, I want this. It's a demo, so I can't click it and it does anything. But it'll then add it to their cart. Let's say that they did say that they don't want it. If you decide to, you can do what's called a down sell. Okay, down sell. And the down sell will make them say, well, it basically says, well, you got what I was first offering. You opted out of what I tried to upsell you that was more expensive. You don't want that. So now get this. How about this? If you don't want to buy this $100 course, well, I do have a $30 ebook. It's a down sell. So the templates are the same. There are many of them. You know, that's if I do 30 and you can still see some more. But the down sell is, again, it says, okay, well, you didn't want this upsell, so here's an option for a down sell. Now, if they do select that they want the upsell, you can have them to bypass the down sell. If they say I don't want the upsell, then they'll go to the down sell if that's how you set it up. Other options, you can have a thank you page. We've already done the opt-in page. You can have an opt-in thank you if you're not selling anything. And you can have all of these different forms, pop-up form, LinkedIn bio, all of that. Contact us. Webinar, again, you cannot access the webinar pages unless you pay for the webinar subscription with system.io. So that's not included in the free version. So again, we're only talking about the free stuff. But you can have all of these, but I always say keep your funnels not necessarily as short as possible, but as beneficial as possible. To me, it's not really beneficial to have stuff like a contact us page in your funnel. So I typically just stick to the sales pages and at most the opt-in page. So that's how you can create your funnel. Let's just go to the thank you page. As you can see here, they give many options. I scroll pretty fast just because I like to go ahead and click the 30. Oh, I already clicked it. Click the 30 so that we can see that we can keep going. So let's just go to the second page just for fun. And you can see some of these thank yous. You can do a thank you with a video. Let's click here. If you are the type who want to record a video, hi, thanks so much for purchasing. I'm so excited you joined the community. My name is Reggie Whitley, the Visionary Brand Coach, and I am here to serve you. You're going to have such a good time in this community, blah, blah, blah. You can actually put that right in system.io, and you can either do it through a YouTube video or you can store the video straight into system.io and have it to stream from inside of the system itself without third party um, needing a third party system like YouTube. And then you'll just go down here and just tell some stuff and whatever you want to say. And as you can see in this thank you page, it still gives another offer because you want to put your offers out there. The worst that people can say is no. So You can still put your offers, you can still do your money back guarantee, your FAQs, and all of that on your thank you page. And that, in a nutshell, is how you create a funnel. Now, I feel like that was a very quick way to go through it, but as you can see, it's quite simple when you get in and you just learn that you quite literally just have to click what you want to change it, and it's changed. So, automations, we're going to go over automations in a very soon upcoming video so that you can understand automations as it pertains to your website, your blog, your funnels, your tags, all of that. Because when people sign up, you have to have something for them. You have to make sure you send them an email. You have to make sure that you send them even a text message if you want to go that route. Because as you can see, we do have text messages now. That's something very new. But you can have all sorts of automations, and you do get automations with your plan. Now, as I've said before, System.io is free. What I'm showing you is completely free. It's their freemium version now. I have upgraded, but I started off using the freemium plan and I used it for almost a year before I upgraded. The only reason I upgraded is because I wanted more automations. And I'll be honest, at that time, they were allowing more automations on their free plan. They recently reworked all of their plans and programs and all of that. They did rework it at a point where when I paid for it, less than a month later, they had reworked it, and what I paid for was so much cheaper for new people. So all of this is honestly cheaper for you guys than it was for me, even if you decide to upgrade. But that is absolutely fine. I was still very pleased with the bang that I was getting for my buck. So again, with the free version, you'll have three funnels. You can have one automation rule, one custom domain, and up to 2,000 contacts. And when you want more, you'll just pay to receive more. And those are your annual subscriptions. And free version, you get a free tag, you get a CRM pipeline, you get email marketing. You can send as many emails as you want. You can have an email campaign, which is kind of like an automation where they get the multiple emails scheduled to go out. Like when they subscribe, one of my businesses, when you subscribe to it, you'll get one email that just says welcome, and then you'll get like 7 emails following one email per day automatically. And that is because it is set up as an email campaign, just a welcome to the company. And then you can have your email newsletters unlimited. Again, workflows and automations, you get one each. And you can have up to 15 steps in one funnel. So how we just went over those funnels, how we every page is a step. So in one funnel, up to 15 steps on the free plan. You can create a deadline for your funnels, and you can do your A/B testing. You can have your files stored in System.io. One click upsells, bump orders. The possibilities are almost endless. And yes, sub accounts, when you subscribe with the paid version, those sub accounts are also paid, get the paid benefits. Even it replaces Calendly because you can have your event calendar and your bookings right here. And here are all of the payment processors. I already mentioned Stripe, but you can also do Apple Pay. I mentioned PayPal, and all of these, which typically are not majorly used in the United States, but they are available. And you also have cash on delivery as a payment option. The blogs, they call the blogs, that's what they call their websites. You don't have to use the blog aspect of it. That's just what they call them because they're built to be blogs with unlimited posts. And you have an amazing link in bio. I can hardly wait to show you how that looks and how it's set up with your digital store. And you do have your physical products so you can sell right here in System.io. I'll do a video very soon as well on your online courses, how you can build those, and even for free, have up to 500 students. You can build your own community so you don't have to depend on Facebook groups and school, for instance. You can have those with unlimited members, and you can have your own affiliate link and 24-hour email support. So much that you can have right here, including other integrations in System IO, and it is again free. If you want to sign up with this platform, I do have my affiliate link down below. It is absolutely free to use, and you, of course, can get the free version of this platform. I would love for you to join me and so many other creators and brand leaders in using this powerful platform. One thing that I've learned to do is I send out emails every Monday through Friday because I am Reggie Whitley, the visionary brand coach, and I look to inspire, motivate, and empower all brand leaders across multiple sectors. And I do that in part, again, through 9 a.m. Fuel, my email list. Now, if you want to sign up for 9 a.m. Fuel and get your 9 a.m. Central Standard Time motivation every Monday through Friday, that's linked down below in the description as well. And I would love for you to sign up. And if you want to know how I am able to do that every single day through this same platform, come back next week and we're going to have part 2 of my System IO course where we go over email marketing. And I will see you next week.